Hello guys, I wanted to share with you my homemade mountain bike. So I've got you can see here in the back, a home-built bike that's been welded together with just mild steel, like structural steel, and kind of did a paint job on it. I'm going to flip the camera here so we can get a better look. It's made out of 1018 steel. I did do a paint job on it with some Krylon. And some of these pieces came from the local bike shop, and I was able to get those pretty cheap used. Now this RockShox fork was on Amazon for like $180 at the time of purchase. Corgi grips, with Corky, I guess you might say. Those were really cheap. This is a used saddle off of a Liv bike. Got the IXF crankset. Shimano Altus derailleur. I went ahead and called it the Kaizen, which is kind of continuous improvement. It's kind of the theme. This is the second bike I've built, and decided to modify the geometry to try to improve the ride quality over the last bike I built. The reach on this bike is 444 millimeters. The stack is 610 millimeters. The chainstay length is 416 millimeters, which might sound unrealistic, but for a 29er, it is very, very close to the bottom bracket there. It's pretty tight. The wheelbase is 1159 millimeters, and let's see, the effective seat tube angle, which you can see that this kind of goes in front of the bottom bracket here a little bit. So the actual seat tube angle and the effective are different. The actual seat tube angle is 73.5 degrees. The effective is 76 degrees. The head tube, it's pretty slack at 65 degrees. So I work in a machine shop, so I was able to take this is a piece of tubing that I was able to bore on both ends in a lathe and get it in, and then press the cups in both sides. The bottom bracket is also just a piece of 1.5 inch tubing that I was able to put in the lathe and use an ID threading tool. A reverse thread and a right hand thread to get the bottom bracket threads correct, and it was a fun build. All that being said, this bike has probably about $500 worth of parts between the IXF crankset, the RockShox fork, and the tires. The wheels and tires came from the bike shop. I got the wheels and tires for about $200, and they're just Bontrager on the front. These are mix match, and a Giant on the back. So this was a kind of a budget build. This saddle was actually off my wife's bike. She found it to be quite uncomfortable, so we bought her a new saddle, and I took that along with her water bottle, as you can see, or water bottle holder. These bars were on Amazon. I believe at the time they were $20, and they're an aluminum bar. But me and my son have been doing some mountain biking, and I was able to take this out on the trail, and we had a blast. I plan to continue to ride this, kind of keep an eye on, the build of it, and make sure that the steel doesn't really, degrade over time. My welds are not the best. I am not a welder by trade. I'm a machinist, so you can kind of see they're not real great. In fact, they're a little bit embarrassing, but we do what we can. So the paint job, I got I 3D printed a stencil with my 3D printer, and then did some overlap. So this is a meadow green going into a got like a gunmetal gray going into a satin black on the back. So I thought it looked pretty cool. So of course, representing REIS, which is now the name of my channel. So I plan to create quite a bit of content around mountain biking, budget builds, and things of the such. I know there's a lot of that out there, but I do find it to be quite enjoyable. So pretty proud of that bike. But yeah, as we go along, I'll get it out on the trail and hopefully get some more videos to you. Thank you for watching.